So we'll start with just a bit of an introduction of who you are. Maybe just share a bit about your brands, your brand identity, and maybe the values that kind of drive your brands. I'll start with you.
Hello, hi guys. Hi everyone. I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you so much for showing up for Who What Where and Luku. My name is Debbie. Majority of you already know me. I am Debbie and I run a thrift store. It's called Thrift Boulevard. I sell thrifted clothes. I just love thrifting. I am the number one thrifter here. Aside from Luca Rindi. Can't take that away from Luca. Can never take that away from Luca. So you guys go and follow my store. We post a lot of thrifted clothes. For us, the main thing is I call myself the closet surgeon. So my job is to get you the pieces that make your closet feel complete. You know, all the good pieces that you need in your closet, especially for the girlies and for the theys and for the gays, That's all. That's all. That's how I could introduce myself. And I've been doing this for a couple of years, which might be shocking. I've been doing this for like 5 years. So I really love clothes. I love fashion. I love the whole idea of sustainability. And that's what thrifting is all about. We're here to stop the horrendous fast fashion craze. It's all about you buy today, buy next month, but when you thrift, you go, you find something that's very personal, something that you can also pass through to somebody else. That's the main thing about thrifting, and that's what I am all about, guys. And I'm glad that you guys are here. Can't wait to hear your questions as well. Thank you for coming. See you all here.
Afternoon. I'm Kagima. Artist, designer. So I think the main reason I'm here is because of Nairobi Noise. It's a fashion design collective that we started, me and my boy Vat. So it's simply two guys who love making apparel and who are driven by, the available resources and availability of resources that you can't really find in Nairobi. Like, for example, like Nairobi, you can find maybe good fabrics, and once you find a certain fabric, you can find it again. So our brand, not really brand, but collective was mainly driven by just finding what we can source and making cool apparel out of it. And yeah, so Nairobi Noise is just basically two guys, now three. We just got a new member who love making cool apparel.
Hey everyone. So I'm Daudi O, the founder of a streetwear brand called Metamorphosize. So it's a contemporary streetwear brand that pushes Kenyan stories, making clothing that tell different stories from what I've gone through, things that relate to everyone else who's been in Kenya. And I'm also a co-founder of Studio 18. Studio 18 is a cultural a collective of cultural curators. We do events in Nairobi around fashion, and I'm seeing very familiar faces here, so glad you guys are here. Excited about this.
Hi, how's everyone doing? Nice. I'm Francis, representing Luku Store. I'll keep it brief. I think our the core thing we're trying to accomplish with Luku Store is to platform African streetwear culture, and it's been an amazing journey. Only 8 months in, so it's really cool to see a lot of familiar faces and a lot of new faces. So that's it. Thank you all for coming, and looking forward to an engaging conversation.
Wagwan. I had guys crying about 420. I hope you smoked. My name is Mvo, curator and brand owner Bonkers Nairobi. Also owner of streetwear store Pamba Nairobi that is located in Lavington at Ember Creatives. I'm a champion for streetwear. I've been doing this for now maybe 12 years. This is my 12th year running Bonkers. And yeah, I love streetwear and all about the culture.
Hi everyone. I'm Jeanette Wairimo. Many people know me as Jeanette Nimo. I'm my own brand. I'm a model, I'm a stylist. I also love doing photography. I love the creative industry. I've worked with almost everyone on this panel, and almost everyone in the crowd. I
Talk
can
about
see
me.
any
You styled me
familiar-
today.
Yeah, I styled a couple of people today. And I love the creative scene in Nairobi. The fashion creative scene in Nairobi is beautiful. We work together. We love sustainability. We are not a fast fashion kind of community, and it's something that helps our community grow and makes us unique. So I'm very excited for today.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. So I'll start with looking at culture. I think as Africans, at some point, there has been a lot of Western influence, and there's a lot of questions on how we compare our art, our music, our fashion, and what role the West has to play with that. So I want to know, I'll start with Daudi maybe. How do you leverage the Kenyan culture and heritage in building your streetwear brand?
I think when I started the brand, I started it off from a very Western perspective, but also that's because we were all raised from that perspective. The music we listened to growing up, the clothes we wear, this type of trends we follow are from a very Western space. But in my brand, most of my collections come from specific stories that have influenced me growing up, being around my friends, going through certain experiences, and just building it off of that and making clothes that also relate to whoever we are as Kenyans. And yeah, I think just that, making clothes that relate to us, things we can wear, but telling our own stories, not just making whatever's being made there. Yeah.
I'll throw that question to Mvo as well. He mentioned culture.
Personally, I feel like streetwear is less about the garment and more about the narrative. And so when I think about what I create, for me, it's important to tell stories from predominantly Nairobi because that's where I was raised. I don't shy away from the Western perspective because that's what influences the whole space that we exist in. Streetwear is not a Kenyan narrative. It's not a Kenyan way of doing things. It's a Western way of doing things. And so it's important to embrace them because they've already figured it out, but it's also important for us to localize it. Localize it by talking about the things that we see in our streets, talking about these stories that influence us from where we've come from traditionally. And so, yeah, I think it's more about the narrative than it is the garment. I mean, the staple of streetwear is a T-shirt. There's only so far you can innovate that piece. But the narratives you put onto the T-shirt then transcend culture.
Fantastic. And maybe we can hear from one of the stylists. Are there any cultural elements that you incorporate into your styling?
Well, personally, I wouldn't say, I would say that Kenyan or African influence for me has not really been so deep. I am not one to lie and be like, oh, I'm all about, because my style and what I do is very Western influence. So for me, I feel like I am importing what they do and bringing it here and trying to make you guys more comfortable with dressing like them. I wouldn't say, because mostly what I do is I'm selling clothes. I'm selling you what they would buy in the US. So I am telling you, girl, it's fine. You can wear that micro skirt. Nobody's going to tell you anything, you know? Let's make it part of us, because we all know how hard it is. Even how I'm dressed right now, this is not how I came here, guys. Like, I had to take a ride here, you know, the problems of being a girl. So I wouldn't really say that I have so much African influence. I feel like that's something that's really growing in me. And with how we started with the who, what, where, is something that's now growing inside me. But like, what I'm really doing is I'm trying to make everybody comfortable in how they want to dress. Like, if you're a guy and you want to wear a skirt, where are you? I have it for you. Like, I will get that for you, you know? So I wouldn't really be like these guys. They're all incorporating the Nairobi and all that. That's what I'm trying to learn right now for me personally as a stylist. So yeah, that's all I'd have to say for that. Yeah.
Sorry, before, just to add something to what you said, I don't think you should look at yourself from that perspective, because it is because of you that we are able then to be experimental in our expression. It's
Exactly.
you setting the pace for like us guys who are trying to design. So you're
Okay.
playing a part in culture for sure.
Exactly, guys. The validation. I got the validation I needed. Let's close it. Thank you for that. Thank you for saying that. Actually, it's very validating for me.
Great. That was just the first question, and we already have very polarized personalities and ideas. Great. The Nairobi, because I also work in the fashion space, and it's very unique. And I wanted to maybe find out from Kagima, are there any specific challenges you found in this fashion space in Kenya, and has that presented any opportunities for you to innovate or to reach the kind of customers that you're looking at?
I guess one of the challenges will be sourcing materials, because as you know, like in Nairobi, not all the materials that you'd want or that you see maybe on the internet that you'll find. But now for our brand, we kind of took that as an advantage, sort of. So we mainly work with upcycled materials now, because that's the most readily available. So it's kind of just not complaining and taking the setback as an opportunity. And that's why our brand right now is predominantly denim, because it's very available and it's very long lasting. So our collective just sort of swayed in the direction of denim and upcycling denim and working with denim, and also maybe other materials. So I don't think there's another challenge, because it's just mainly just working with what you have and making cool apparel.
Anyone else wants to take that question? Maybe.
I remember like we were having a kind of interesting conversation with Mvo a couple of months ago, and we were talking about like the EPZ zones, and how you have like companies like Levi's coming and like doing the production in like these spaces, and there's always like leftover like material and stuff. So for me, I found it like really interesting that like brands like Nairobi Noise and others like in that space are like kind of stepping in and like dealing with that that waste essentially. So yeah, I feel like I don't think there should be like the same standard held to like all the brands. That's kind of like the position I take, and like every brand has like its journey, and but it's really cool to see yeah, people being part of like the solution essentially. Yeah.
Excellent. I like that we are naturally going towards the topic of sustainability. And I want to engage you guys. I want to find out from you, because you are the customers, you are the consumers. Does sustainability really matter to you? Like, for example, like what would sustainability be to you? Does it influence your buying decision? Do you see a brand that's sustainable and one that's not and go, yeah, I'm going to go for the sustainable brand? Yeah, does anyone want to tell me what sustainability is to them? And if it matters?
Hola. Yeah, I feel like for me, sustainability matters a lot, especially thinking about, like the global capitalist machine, right? And not being, with my personal politics, not wanting to buy into that. And so understanding things like buying from H&M, Forever 21, and how it goes into like child labor practices and shit like that, that's shit that I think about. And so lately, I feel like within the last year, that's something that came very conscious in my mind. And I thought that it would be best to, yeah, definitely thrift, like definitely also buy from my friends. I'm really kind of blessed to have friends who are like clothes makers. And so conversations like that, but I think mostly also I think about the longevity of the piece, right? Like I don't want to buy a fit and like have to toss it after 2 weeks or like a month or so. And so when I think about that, those are the conversations that I'm looking to even have with the designers and the people who are making the clothes. Further than that, like the material and stuff like that, how is it sourced? So those are definitely things that I think about. Yeah.
Hey everyone. Yeah, so I think it's just to build on what Nirma said. I by no means am I a stylist, but I think one of the most important aspects of fashion is the timelessness of a piece of clothing that you normally wear. Whenever you walk into your wardrobe and you walk into pick like your favorite T-shirt or your favorite pair of jeans, I think one of the most important aspects is a piece that would outlast generations, one that you'd pick and say that, yeah, I think I remember buying this back in like 2021 or 22, having an important piece that sticks by you and really reflects like the period that you were in, and have that grow into generations and inspire the generations to surpass that, or at least reflect a lot of what that substance remains within the piece of clothing. So yeah, I think that's what sustainability means to me.
I love that. He's touched on fast fashion. I like it.
I feel like for me, sustainability is more about like when you buy clothes, it's less about hopping onto trends and more about like just what everyone has said, buying things that like are going to last long. I see buying clothes as like getting like into a relationship with a garment. Like how long am I going to wear this for? Is this going to be the same? Like, am I buying this because everyone is wearing it now, or because in the next 1 year, 2 years, I'm going to wear this? Because there's no way to fully buy a garment that's fully sustainable. Because everything that goes into buying this, into making this garment or to making this piece of clothing, is not like you can't guarantee that it's 100% ethical, sustainable, and like everything that we want it to be. So even if I'm buying like a new piece of clothing, like 90% of the things I wear thrifted, but like whenever I do buy something that's like new, it's more about like, am I going to be able to wear this for the next 5-10 years? Or is it just something I'm wearing to look cool right now? Yeah.
Everyone has said anti-Sheen. Okay. I like that. You went? Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's not bad to be a Sheen warrior. It's no. It's bad. It's bad to be a Sheen
They
warrior.
employ kids. They
If
employ
it's
kids.
if it's all you can afford to buy, then you have no other option. But if you have other options, then you take those other options. But at the end of the day, you need to realize that not everyone has the same economic status and economic like power to buy all of these like brand new clothes. And there's also so much pressure from everyone to look cool and hot and all of that. But yeah, like definitely being a Sheen warrior is bad. But but if it's all you can afford and if it's all that you can like handle, then it's like there's no point of like shaming people for it. Yeah.
I respect that. I respect that. But I mean, if you see the help when you buy, toss it.